there's a thing about Filipinos that they speak English, their names are Spanish, they cook Chinese, and they follow Austronesian culture. So how's that? What is the weirdest food you guys have?
Well, most foreigners find it weird. I don't know if you heard, yes, balut.
Like
So,
lots of people
name their babies.
they name their babies as Sushmita Sen.
Yep, it's a true story.
But
Ba 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 ba.
Hello everyone, how are you? I am Sonam, and on our show, our today's guest is from the country which is famous for living like a community. Country where everyone is a very good singer. Women there are one of the most beautiful in the world. Every now and then they are winning the title of Miss World and Miss Universe. I hope you have guessed it by now. It is Philippines. Today we have Fritz from Philippines. I'm so excited to talk to her and ask her about the food that they eat and all the interesting things. So let's get started. So
Okay.
Fritz, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi Sonam. Thank you for inviting me to your show. I'm Fritz. I'm from a place in the Philippines called Bataan. It's around 3 hours away from Manila, and it's known for beaches.
Oh, so we have heard like Philippines is like archipelago with
Yeah.
so many islands in
Yeah,
it.
over 7,000.
Oh, it's
islands.
7,000. Yeah, and 2,000 of them are inhabited by people.
She did her research.
How about like do almost all the population lives in Manila like in any other country like capital is famous?
Well, a huge chunk of the population do live in the national capital region within Metro Manila, but there are three main islands: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And yep, people are scattered all over.
Yeah.
So because it's such a scattered geography, there are many different languages. So Filipino, people mistake it for Tagalog, but it's
Yeah.
actually Filipino.
Uh-huh.
That's the national language, but we have so many languages actually.
Yeah, so is how Tagalog and Filipino is different?
Well, actually, the national language, as I said, is Filipino.
Filipino?
So Tagalog, it's the language spoken by people mostly in central Luzon. Luzon is the main island, but as I said, we shouldn't call it dialects because there are languages on their own, like Bisaya, Cebuano.
So it was also interesting for me to know like all the Filipinos know English here. Like they are super fluent, they speak like native, but they have an accent that is their Filipino accent.
Yeah.
But interestingly, all of them are so fluent. Is English that common there?
I would call that a misconception, I guess, because not everyone actually can speak English. I guess those who went to schools that teach English, they would be more fluent. But in the Philippines, actually, yeah, not everyone can speak it.
Ah, interesting. So, and how about Spanish? Like, there's so much Spain influence on
Yeah, that's a dark history.
Ah.
So it's 333 years of Spanish colonization. So during that time, actually the Spanish didn't want to teach Filipinos their language because they were worried if Filipinos learned the language, it would make it easier for them to revolt. Because Filipinos that time, they were actually called Indio, so they were discriminated. Like they were not on the same level as the colonizer. So given that colonial history, a lot of our modern day language today have many borrowed words from Spanish.
And what food do you like to recommend us? Like, what are the most popular food in Philippines?
I see you have a bag here, Sana, from Cindy.
Yeah.
It's called tinola. So these are the ingredients.
So nice. Okay.
Yeah, so tinola is like chicken soup. It has malunggay and green papaya.
Papaya is very famous in
Yeah.
Filipino.
Yeah,
no?
either as fruit, you eat it fresh as is, or as an ingredient for cooking for soups.
Ah.
But I guess the most popular one is adobo. I don't know
Adobo?
if you've tried it.
Not yet.
Yeah, I can't cook, but our friend Cindy can cook. So it's It's chicken,
Uh-huh.
soy sauce, vinegar, pepper, and laurel leaves. Very savory, very good.
We have tried sinigang.
Sinigang.
Delicious.
Yeah,
Delicious.
sinigang.
Yeah.
So it's sour soup, as you know. It can be either with salmon, fish, or more popular would be pork or beef, and even shrimp, and then lots of vegetables, and then tamarind to make it sour.
To make it sour. What is the weirdest food you guys have?
Well, most foreigners find it weird. I don't know if you heard, but yes, balut. So it looks like a simple egg, but actually it's I don't know the proper term, unfertilized duck embryo, something like that. So it's if you open it, you will see actually the small chick, I guess. I don't know. I eat it, but I don't eat the chick part. But the rest of it is actually pretty good.
Balut.
But yeah, balut.
Yeah, it is one of the most weirdest food, to search also. But I'm very fascinated with halo halo. I told you that now also.
Yeah.
Halo halo.
Actually, in Japan, I was surprised. They have it in the kombini. They call it haro haro, but it's inspired by the halo halo, but it's different. So halo halo is a famous Filipino dessert. It's crushed ice, and then you put some condensed milk, some ice cream, some coconut, different fruits, fresh fruits, some leche flan. Actually, you can put whatever you want, but yeah, it's famous during summer.
It's a mixture. It's very colorful, rainbow.
Yeah, that's why it's halo halo. Halo halo means mix.
Mix. Okay, mix. Yeah, and how about kare kare?
Oh, you know kare kare. Actually, I don't think none of the Filipino students here have cooked it yet. It's quite difficult.
What is kare kare?
So as it sounds, it's like curry, right?
Oh,
it's a Filipino version, but there's no spices involved. So it's basically beef, different vegetables, and then what makes it special is the sauce. You put peanut. Peanut. Some people use like real peanut; they grind it, or some people just use peanut butter.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then you eat the meat with you call it shrimp paste, bagoong. It's really good.
Yeah. Much soury taste, right? Almost all the Filipino food have sour on the sour
Yeah, we
side.
have sour, savory.
Interesting. And how about Jollibee?
Oh, wow. Yeah. So Jollibee is like the most famous Filipino fast food. So it's our version of McDonald's.
McDonald's.
The mascot is literally a bee.
There's a thing about Filipinos that they speak English, they their names are Spanish, they cook Chinese, and they follow Austronesian culture. So how is that?
Yeah, so start with the Spanish. Yeah, we have
Because of the history.
Yeah, because of the history, many people have Spanish sounding last names. So it's pretty common. But we don't speak Spanish these days. That's long gone. English, as I said, not everybody is fluent, but yeah,
But you have so much influence of US.
yeah, because of the history again of colonization, and the curriculum is also like, for example, math, science. It was taught in English. It was only in very recently where we had a law wherein we now teach these subjects in the mother tongue, which is Filipino, or depends on which part of the Philippines the child is. And then Austronesian, that has something to do with the language family. So it's something we share with other Southeast Asian countries.
Interesting. And like Filipinos are very famous for like winning the like beauty titles, beauty pageants. And like I guess everyone knows about like Pia Woods patch, definitely because of that mistake by Steve Harvey. It became even more popular. But yeah, we know that like every now and then, either it's Miss World, Miss Universe. Like Filipino women are so beautiful. You can see her.
Sonam. Yeah, there are viewing parties actually for young people when it's Miss Universe. You would have a little gathering in your house and you would scream together. Yeah, I think we're doing it here when it happens.
Yeah, and like how's the thing? Like Angie was telling me that you have some people whose name is Sushmita Sen.
Yeah.
Because Sushmita Sen is like Miss Universe from India.
Yeah.
But she won in Philippines. The pageant happened in Philippines. and then because of that, like lots of people
Yeah, name their babies.
they name their babies as Sushmita Sen.
Yeah, it's a true story.
but you know, Sen is the surname.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
but
Yeah. Yeah, they can do what they want.
it was very new for
Yeah.
us, yeah. But and what's your image about Indians?
Actually, I've never personally. You're my first Indian friend. Yay! But I think there is a community in the Philippines. There's an Indian community. There are a lot of Indian restaurants. And I'm familiar with Bollywood. Yes.
Have you seen any movie?
Yes.
Yeah, that time when I talked to you about Lagan, you said
I
you
know
it.
Lagan because
Yeah.
I love the British actress in that movie. And then we had that movie night with the Indian.
Yes,
movie
Zindagi Na
night.
Milegi
Yeah,
Dobara.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you want to suggest us some Filipino movies? She is so much into movies. So we really like your recommendation.
okay, I guess I like older Filipino movies better. So there's this very old Filipino movie called Manila in the Claws of the Neon Light. Something like
Okay.
that. I don't know. The Filipino title is Maynila sa Kuko ng Liwanag.
Heard like all the Filipinos love dancing and singing. That I can also like assure because I've always seen the community together, always singing karaoke.
Yeah,
We have
karaoke.
yeah, you guys and interestingly, like karaoke was maybe invented in Japan, but the first patent was like taken by a Filipino person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how they love like karaoke.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and there are many famous people. They are half Filipino, half maybe American, who
Yeah,
are
Phil Am.
and Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
And
that's true.
And there's one very interesting thing about Philippines that they don't have divorce law. So you wanna talk about that?
Yeah, it's a very sad fact. We're the only country in the world, well, except for Vatican City,
Vatican City.
without divorce, and it's something that I'm not proud of. We're trying to change that, but we do have annulment and legal separation. But it's different because divorce, it's an easier, faster process. Annulment, it's more complicated. It's longer. The grounds for annulment are limited, unlike divorce.
But do you guys like date? You have a dating culture.
Yes.
Okay. So okay, but when you get married, you're supposed to be with that man or woman for your whole life.
Because there's no divorce, but technically there's annulment, but it's a different process. But also the context is the Philippines is mostly it's a majority of the population are Christian, so it is in their belief that once you get married, it's a lifetime thing.
Yeah, because almost 80% of the people in Philippines are like Christian, and they but this law for divorce doesn't apply for Muslims.
Yeah, they have their
Own laws.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, about 5% around that range, Filipino population, they're
Muslims, yeah. Interesting. So so do you also guys like change the given name? I mean the surname?
Yeah, that's the common practice. The woman changes her surname to the man. Although in modern times, there are some women who choose to use a dash, their surname dash, the guys, or there are some people who don't change their names at all. But it's not so common.
And women goes to men's house.
House?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
That's what we do.
What do you mean?
Like when we get married, our women, if I'm married to a man, I'll go to his, I'll shift. How about you?
Interesting. Not really, no.
Not really?
No, yeah. Usually the couple, if they want, they would separate from the family, their parents. They would get their own place. If they can't afford a house, they'll stay in an apartment, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't stay with your families, like your parents.
Maybe in the old times, but I think young people now, they don't want to share space with their parents.
Okay. Yeah. But in India, we are still practicing that. So most of the Indians, we live with our parents, and when a female get married to a man, we shift to his house.
Oh.
Yes. So that's why in India they say you are not like marrying to a boy, you're marrying to the family. Yeah.
I see. It also happens in the Philippines.
But yeah, now like these days things are changing because of modernization.
Yeah.
Everyone is going towards American culture. So yeah, and like there's so much literacy rate in Philippines also. Like almost 98.2% people are literate. Maybe the data is old. Even like now, it might be 99. Yeah.
So I work in child rights, so I know the dark reality. Officially, the statistics reflect that it's very high. Unfortunately, like there's this recent World Bank study saying that there are Filipino fifth graders who unfortunately have very low reading comprehension, either in English or in the Filipino language. So there are some issues in our education system wherein some children are getting left behind, unfortunately.
But yeah, like that, every country has its dark realities, which government doesn't show. So yes, the most exciting part now, traveling.
Yay.
So if we are supposed to go to Philippines, what are we supposed to see?
Okay, so it depends on your interests. If you like beaches,
Yeah, I love
swimming,
beaches,
diving, so I would suggest Palawan.
Palawan?
Yeah, you can fly this.
Yes.
Palawan. Well, it's the most famous one among tourists. It's called Boracay, Bora. But personally, I like Palawan better. Than lesser known destinations like Puerto Galera. I like diving there. I don't dive. I just do snorkeling. Sorry. Yeah, but if you like diving, that's a great place. Another popular tourist destination is Cebu.
Cebu, yeah, I've heard of it. CEBU, Cebu.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's famous for the roast. It's a whole pig and it's roasted over flames.
Yes, I've heard about that. Yes, it's famous. It's famous in Philippines.
And the skin is really crunchy. Some people don't like it, but I love it.
Yeah, so basically in Cebu they do that. It's famous there.
Yeah, it's
that
famous
dish.
there.
What do we call that dish?
Lechon.
Lechon.
If you like hiking, we also have lots of beautiful mountains, like in Mindanao. Mindanao is it's a part of the Philippines wherein most of the population are Muslim, and you can also find there the Mount Apo, which is the tallest mountain. There's also Mount Mayon, which is famous for its perfect cone shape. And then there's Chocolate Hills. It's called Chocolate Hills, but it's not anything related to chocolate. They just look like little chocolates.
In Bohol.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll promote my hometown, I guess.
Yes, please.
Bataan. So there are many beaches there as well as mountains. Yeah.
So basically, if you love beaches, mountains, and nature, Filipino is the country you should go. Yeah.
And then if you want to see a bit of history, so this is if you're fascinated with that whole colonial period, you can go to Intramuros. So it's a walled city. So you can see there the architecture from the colonial era, Spanish influence. You can ride the horse carriage. It's called calesa. So it's a cart with the horse.
Just to let you know, like Fritz is a traveler. When I did Southeast Asia, I was completely inspired by you. I'm telling you, like seriously. When you told me how you have been to all of these places, I was so inspired. Like,
you skipped the Philippines. You should visit.
I just skipped the Philippines because she was not there.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Yeah, I want to come to Philippines when you will be there and we'll roam around.
Yeah.
Yes, I really want to. But I mean, you have traveled so much. Which are the countries that you liked?
So I like Southeast Asia. I'm not saying that because I'm Southeast Asian, but it's quite easy to get around.
To get around.
So I was really fascinated by Myanmar.
It's on my list.
Yeah, I've only been there once, but I stayed for about 2 weeks. So I was blown away when I saw Bagan.
Bagan.
Yeah, it's like you time traveled, and I think the most common route young people take would be you just go to Vietnam.
Yeah, banana pancake trial that you're talking about.
So Thailand and Cambodia.
Cambodia.
Yeah.
They sometimes include Laos also. Laos is Cambodia, Laos, and all of these things. But just to let you know, like it's very different for Indians and Southeast Asians to travel because we need visa everywhere.
Yeah, we don't. That's why
they don't need visa for all these Southeast Asian countries because of ASEAN.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Very lucky.
I would love to go to India someday.
Yeah, you are most welcome. And how about Europe? Have you been to Europe? Yeah.
So through work, I was lucky enough to be able to go to Paris. And actually, it's easy. You also take a bus to go to Amsterdam on a day trip.
Interesting. We'll keep that in mind. Yeah. So, and you have traveled to Japan also a lot. So,
Yeah.
is there anything you want to recommend?
Yeah, I had the best. Well, Sonam was traveling in Southeast Asia. I was traveling here in Japan. So I would recommend Okinawa. For summer. It was really good. We were there for about 10 days. Actually, what's interesting was the feeling of Okinawa. It was quite similar to the Philippines because, as you know, Okinawa is quite separate from the main island in Japan. So even the weather is different, and the vibe is different. Then I would also recommend for summer Kyushu.
Kyushu, yeah.
Around Kyushu, so like Fukuoka, Kita Kyushu. And of course, my favorite place in Japan is Kyoto.
Kyoto.
You love Kyoto too,
Kyoto,
right?
so sweet. Obachano-ji-san, so sweet.
Yeah,
Everyone was so
cute
sweet.
and
Yeah.
kind.
Yeah. We have been, everyone was saying gakkui. Gakkui means like very cool, very nice, right? Yeah.
Koi.
And she's very good at Japanese.
I'm
also.
not.
You are. So, is there any word you want to teach us? Like, especially hello and bye.
Yeah, so we don't have a direct translation of hello like konnichiwa. It's more of like o genki desu ka? How are you? It's kumusta.
Kumusta?
Kumusta.
Is it in Spanish?
It is derived from Spanish, which is como estas, right?
Como estas?
So ours is kumusta.
Kumusta?
If you want to make it short, you say musta.
Musta.
In Filipino culture, if you're greeting, for example, your grandparents, parents, or uncles, aunts, you do this. Give me your hand.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called
It's
mano po.
It's for blessings.
Yeah.
It's for blessings. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you bow also doing that?
We don't have the bowing culture like in East Asian countries, so we
Okay.
just do that. And then, yeah.
Interesting. And how to say bye?
Bye. It's paalam.
Paalam?
Paalam.
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 Paalam. and is there any other?
Thank you. So thank you is salamat.
Salamat.
It
It's
sounds
like Malaysian.
close to Bahasa Indonesia and Malaysian, right?
Yes, because I have
they have
heard,
salamat.
when I was in Malaysia, I was hearing people saying salamat datang for
Yeah.
welcome, probably.
Yeah, because as we mentioned earlier, we come from the same family language.
Yeah.
It's still different, but yeah, it's close. Salamat. I
Salamat.
think with Indonesian, they also have the term anak, which we also have, something like that. Yeah.
But do you understand these languages like Bahasa?
No, I wish we did, because I know some Indonesians and Malaysians can
Yes,
understand each other.
that's why it always confuses me.
So if you want to travel to the Philippines, maybe the best months would be around April to May, because that's summer. Because June, July, August, it might be too rainy. But if you don't want it to be too hot, maybe the Burr months are also good, like around November to December. Because Christmas in the Philippines, we say
Christmas is a big thing.
Yeah, Christmas is a big thing, and Christmas starts in September.
Oh.
Once the Burr month starts, that's Christmas.
Burma means?
Yeah. September, October, November, December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
people already start decorating their houses, the streets with lights.
Then you must be missing.
Yeah, it's fun. Christmas in the Philippines, it's a family thing. Because here in Japan, it's mostly for couples.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is Halloween a thing there also?
For young people, they do Halloween parties, I guess. But in the Philippines, there's a culture on October 31st and November 1st. Families go to cemeteries to visit the grave sites of their relatives who passed away. And then they offer flowers, candles, that kind of gifts.
And how about the drinking culture in Philippines? Is it?
Yeah. So in Japan, we have kampai.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, we have tagay.
Tagay.
Tagay. Yeah.
Tagay.
And shot puno.
Shakuno. Is both of the words for kampai?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Something
like cheers.
that.
Kampai is like cheers in Japanese. Yeah.
So, and we have a traditional alcoholic drink. It's made from coconut.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's very strong, very pure.
Like these in India, we have in southern part of India, in Goa, we have this alcohol from cashew nuts.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How does that taste?
I haven't. I haven't been to Goa.
Sounds interesting because I
Uh,
like cashew.
Yeah, it's interesting. People say that, and it's so cheap.
Okay.
They say alcohol in Goa is overall very cheap. So yeah, I highly recommend you to go to Goa.
I
It's
want
like
to go to your country.
yes, and there's a thing about Filipinos. We always see you together.
Well, there are a lot of Filipino students here. I think we're one of the biggest communities.
Communities.
Second, probably next to Myanmar.
Uh-huh.
So as you said, Filipinos love doing karaoke.
Uh-huh.
So they always do that while eating and drinking.
Uh-huh.
We love to. I can't cook, but my friends, they love to cook.
Uh-huh.
And then when they cook, it's not just small serving, it's big, so they can share it with all their friends. In the Philippines, we have this culture wherein we have gatherings. We would put banana leaves
Uh-huh.
on a table,
Uh-huh.
and then put the food on the banana leaves, and then everyone just eats together
Ah.
with our hands. Do
With
you do that? in your
Same
country?
in
Yeah.
India. Yeah.
We eat with our hands.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Of course, people also eat with spoon and fork, but sometimes it's just better when you eat with your hands, especially if it involves seafood.
Yeah.
We have lots of fresh
Seafood.
seafood. Yeah, big crabs, shrimps. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and there's a thing with baba baba ba.
Ah,
What is
yeah.
that?
Okay, so we have this word. Not word. Sentence. Ba 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 ba.
Okay.
Try it. Ba 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 ba. Yeah. So it's asking, are you getting off? For example, you're in a bus. Ba 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 ka ba. Are you getting off here? Are you going down?
Okay.
Ba 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 ba.
Yeah. So baba baba. Okay, I'm learning.
Yeah.
Really nice talking to you, friend.
Yeah. Thank
And-
you, Sonam.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've said that to you, but I always look forward to you. Like like you, if you'll talk to my friends, they will know. I always say I want to be like her.
I love Sonam's energy, though.
No.
And she dances so well. You should show you a video of you dancing.
Every Indian loves to dance, they know. But yeah, it's such a pleasure to have.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Paalam.
Paalam.
Who slapped them?
Yeah.
Who?
People.
People just went there and slapped them. That's so sad.
Okay, I'll cut that. It's so funny.
You can put it. It's
That's
funny.
sad.
Yeah, you can put it. It's funny.